It's venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. There's quarterback Mitchell Trubisky leading out the Chicago Bears offense. Partner, what have you seen from Trubisky now that we have a pretty good chunk of games about a year and a half into his NFL career?
Always knew he was a worker, so that didn't surprise me at all that he would put the time in, but you're seeing it come out on the field now. Finding receivers with more proficiency, reading defenses better, showing that big-time ability that he flashed at North Carolina. Had a 6-touchdown game earlier this year against Tampa Bay. But I think the extra bonus to his game that maybe they didn't count on is legs. Because they already have Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen to run the football, but he becomes a third runner, and he's flashed that ability and helped his team in a big way this season.
Now Trubisky to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Forced out to his left. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Everson Griffin able to get him for a loss of about 3. On third down, Trubisky. A bullet throw, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So not only do they convert on fourth, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that'll be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Parkey with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Here comes Marcus Sherrills. Shifts by him. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Kyle Rudolph had his 2nd Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just 1 off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league. Continues to improve as a blocker. Is one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter down. 7-0 is our score, and we're back to Soldier Field after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15. And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Caught out left side by Robinson. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On third down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, Trubisky going up top for Miller. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. This is Howard on second down. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Trubisky going for the deep ball. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Charles, as Minnesota takes the field here, let me get your thoughts on what you think of them coming down the stretch. The 1-3 start. And we talked about their start last year, too. But is this a team that is being overlooked by others in the NFL right now?
I don't think so. I think that the teams that they're playing know how capable the Vikings are, and they realize that not only is the defense starting to get back to what they were last season, but that Kirk Cousins getting more and more comfortable with the weapons he has at his disposal. I think maybe we in the media on the outside are overlooking them a little bit because they've taken some losses to some significant teams so far this season. But I think down the stretch, you mentioned their start last year. They were 2-2 to start last year, 1-3 this year. They know how to put together a string, and this team could be dangerous come December.
Yeah, and they've looked a lot better since that 1-3 start.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Boy, C.D. Mack, just from day one, he's looked so good in a Bears uniform, literally and figuratively. And some Raiders fans watching this saying, oh, I wish we had him on our team.
Yeah, just about every Raiders fan saying he looked a lot better in silver and black. Why don't we still have him? But in Chicago, immediately comfortable, fit right into their defensive scheme. They said, go get the passer, and that's exactly what he's done. Leonard Floyd, another first-round pick coming from the other side. He has really helped Chicago get off to a great start, and they love how he disrupts teams' offenses.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Third and 11, and some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. A give. This is Cook. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Matt Weil now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now it's Trubisky. His throw incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky going deep this time for Miller. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them the 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Gets it to Bellamy outright. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky to the right side, complete to Miller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. On 1st down, they run with Howard. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Trubisky now off the bootleg. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing here, Trubisky. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Russell Wilson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head east to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Flacco leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally, on Cyber Monday, put away the credit card and join Monday Night Football as the Titans pay a visit to their former home in Houston. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They'll run it. Here's Cook, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Listen to me.
From From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Leonard Floyd in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to throw Trubisky on 1st down. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. This a 33-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Trubisky to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Burton. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. That time a 6-play drive, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Here comes Sherrills. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners, who've had the receivers on lockdown. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th. All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over. Now the rush coming, and he's taken down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing is Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Cousins from the gun on third. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Following the interception, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Aldrick Robinson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
Yeah, they would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it in. And he's not going to get there. The defense able to come up with a big stop, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2. So any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult because you don't want that to leak into your thinking. You want to play like, hey, we've got the advantage. We can close this out. Don't play from fear, and they can win this game.
See if they can play fear-free and hang on. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They go with Howard again. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Trubisky going to take it on the sneak. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Sherrills. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A 1st down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. And at 50 seconds left, he'll spike it to stop the clock. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. They'll look to throw. It's a loss of 14 that time, and it'll be 4th down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's able to find Diggs. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Bears, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Want to see what happens next? Choose yes to continue playing this team's season.